projects, you may want to get rid of that. So we're going to turn that off. And that's going to be the second tab. Show pause button. We'll say that's false.
Welcome.
Open up the flight regulator.
The flight regulator.
And you can see you only have run, stop, and reset now. So we've gotten rid of the pause
Individual
button.
tasks.
The next item is task name. Currently, the task name is called task. We want to change that to test for this example. So right here, perform all tasks. Say we want to change that to perform all tests or perform all calibrations or whatever we want to change that to. We can do that very easily. So let's do that right now. So we'll change that to test, and you could also type in whatever you wanted there. Click OK.
Welcome. The breathing regulator. Individual tests. Perform all tests.
So if you have a test stand, you may want to change that to tests. And it kind of matches right here. The outlet pressure test, outlet flow test. You could change it to process, so perform all processes, perform individual process, anything you want. You can also start only one application, and you can choose which application that would be. Currently, it's set to start with application 0, so it's going to show all applications.
Welcome.
So it's going to allow the end user to choose, breathing regulator, flight regulator, or a number of other applications that you may have on your front page. There are some instances where you only have one application. And in that case,
Tray view.
So you can select which application is going to be shown. So let's change that to start with application 1.
The breathing regulator.
So now when you open up your project, it's automatically going to open up only to the application, the home page for the application in which you selected. So if we close this down and reopen Hiatronic Development Suite,
the breathing regulator.
So we'll change that back. Start with application 0.
Welcome.
So now it'll start from the front page. You may want to change the password, so go into tab 3 and modify the password. So tree view. And go into the third tab, and you can type in a new password, whatever you want to type in. And you go to the front page, and again, the password is accessed by double-clicking on Powered by Hiatronic Development Suite, and double-clicking within this Help window or About Hiatronic Development Suite. You click on Admin, double-click on that, and type in your new password. And this gives you access to the back door if you are in end user mode. So I typed in the password, and then you have access to, you can either close it out while it's in end user mode. You can switch it back to edit mode. You can also access the license window or access the date and time. Next, we're going to allow the, or we're going to remove the red X at the top of the window so that the end user can't close down the program. They can't get in the back door, and they can't close the program down when accessibility mode equals 1, or when it's in the end user mode. So the only thing they can do is turn off the computer or click a shutdown button, which I'll show you in a moment. So apps.close the program equals false. That's what we're going to change it to. So we're going to go to Tree View, Apps, Tab 3, close the program. We're going to set that equal to false.
Welcome.
Now there's no change yet. We want to remove this X, but only when the software is in accessibility mode 1 or end user mode. So accessibility, we're going to change that to 1. Click OK.
Welcome.
And now you can see that there's no way for the end user to access even the operating system. The only thing they have access to is your project.
The flight
unless they know the
welcome.
Unless they know the password. So in order for us to close down now, we double click on Powered By, and then admin, type in our user password, and we could click close, or we could switch back to edit mode. So we're going to switch back to edit mode.
Welcome.
So I really like that setting, actually. Otherwise, the end user could close down your project and then get into the operating system and do who knows what, play games or modify the operating system. You just don't know. The next thing we're going to do is, on the front page, we're going to show a shutdown computer button. So that's what I'll demonstrate next. Currently, there is no shutdown computer button, so we're going to add that. So we're going to go into Tree View and go to Tab 3, and then we're going to select Front Page, Show Shutdown Computer. We're going to set that equal to True. Click OK.
Welcome.
And now we have the ability to shut down the computer directly without getting into the operating system. Now, when we're in developer mode, that doesn't make sense. So I'll show you what it looks like when we're in the end user mode. Oops, I'm going to go into accessibility equals 1.
Welcome.
So now it makes sense because the end user has no access to, they can't close the software program down, they can't get into the operating system. The only option they have is to click shut down, and it shuts the computer down.
The breathing regulator. Welcome.
And you don't want to click that. If you click that, it's going to prompt you, are you sure you want to close down the computer? If you hit yes, even when you're developing in the developer mode, you're going to shut down the computer. So we don't want to do that right now. So I'm going to go back and change the accessibility back to 0. And all you do is click edit mode, and that's the same thing. It changes that property, apps.accessibility, changes that back to 0. So click OK.
Welcome.
And there you have it. So some people like the shutdown button, others don't. And that concludes this exercise.